All right, we're continuing on now. Now we're going to talk about frequency tables and histograms. So a frequency table is where you break the data up into different intervals, and then you count how many data items fall into each interval. So for example, here is we got the number of goals a soccer team scored in each game of the season. So we can see they scored 0 goals, 3 goals, 0, 0, 7, 2, and so on. We've got it all listed out here. And what we can do is we can make a frequency table to break it up. So I'm just going to show you the example here. So here's a frequency table. So you can see they broke it up. How many games did they score 0 or 1 goals? How many games did they score 2 or 3 goals? How many games did they score 4 to 5 goals and 6 to 7? And then they tallied. I don't require a tally when we make frequency tables. I'm confident you can count without tallying. But if you needed to, so they said 0. All right, 1, 2, 3. There's a 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 games they scored 0 or 1 goal. So that's frequency was 9. How many games did they score 2 or 3 goals? So 1, 2, 3. 3 games they scored 2 or 3 goals. And then 1 game 4 and 5, and 2 games 6 and 7. And that's a frequency table. And frequency tables are typically broken up by intervals because it's a way to kind of smush the data and say, all right, 9 games they scored 0-1 goal. This team was not very good offensively. I can look at this frequency table and see that. And then when you make a frequency table, from that you can make a histograph. So that would look like this, whereas the vertical axis is frequency and the horizontal is goals. And I can show, all right, how many games did they score 0-1 goals? Well, we figured that out in the frequency table. It was 9. They scored 9 goals in 1 game. How many did they score? 2 or 3 goals? They scored 3. And when you make a histograph, what you do is you have your bars next to each other. They're touching each other. The reason being because my intervals are touching. 0-1 is next to 2-3. So this is different than the typical bar graph that you would see because the bars are touching and they're representing intervals. Okay.